my dream?
Yes.
Well, it's kind of evolved over the years. At first, I thought I wanted to be an actress. So I moved to Los Angeles from New Orleans at 17 years old and tried to become an actress and did and was successful. But then I met Grant. We married when I was 30.
Wow.
And, you know, in the beginning of our marriage, I didn't know how to really be in a marriage. Like, I didn't really understand that a marriage was actually for two people to come together in order to be in a coordinated effort with each other to reach heightened levels of success. I just thought a marriage was like, you're supposed to be with the one you love and be faithful and live happily ever after. I didn't realize that the real purpose, at least in our relationship as a partner, after the love, of course, is to build empires together.
I think that the concept that you just said is a beautiful example for a lot of couples that sometimes they join, but only to produce so little if they don't get together in the right way to really produce an empire, not only of money, but of a lot of things. And
Yeah.
of a family, of love, of companionship, of deep thoughts, deep feelings. So that's beautiful what you are saying. It's very deep what you're saying.
Eric here, Eric Visionary says, what is love? And you know, for me, the greatest act of love that you can give to someone else is to help them achieve their goals. And
amazing.
When Grant and I do that for each other and have done that for each other, there is nothing that makes me love him even more.
Amazing. And what is beautiful when you see, but when there is reprocis, ¿cómo se dice? That both of you help each other to reach that level of greatness, you know. And then, okay, you're building both dreams together to making a reality. But now you have also two beautiful children that they are involved in everything that you do. I see it. I love them. They are the real protagonists now.
Yes, and they are interesting. I mean, wow, you know, who knew that motherhood would be so challenging? You know, you have these two little beings that I'm trying to rear to become these confident, contributing, happy members of society. So I'm trying to give them enough freedom to make their own choices in life. However, I still have to give them barriers and a guideline and a structure so they understand the real world. And then I have to explain the ramifications of the consequences if they cross that line, but also give them the freedom to cross that line, but then also have to hold them accountable for when they cross the line. So it's challenging being a parent, you know, having to enforce the rules and give love. And, you know, I try not to get angry with the decisions that they make. You know, we've never hit our children. So, you know, that's not the way I believe to raise confident women who are going to grow up fearless and not invalidating themselves. So, you know, it's challenging because so many times as a mother, I think, oh, I made a mistake. I went too far. I don't know what to do in this situation. You know, it's challenging, but it's a beautiful thing. We're all Team Cardone over here. And, you know, we're not perfect, but we definitely have a good thing going over here.
Absolutely. And what do they say about what you do? They understand what you are doing with your husband? They
Yeah,
understand?
yeah, they understand. You know, from a very young age, I told them, this is what we do. We want to help people. This is how we do it. These are our materials. We do tours, we do speaking. We help a lot of people with their finances and in relationships and whatnot. And so they understand that and they contribute because they want to contribute. You know, they want to be team players. So when they were very young and couldn't come with us and travel the world with us, how they could contribute was when we had to leave them for a few days at a time. If they were okay while we were away and weren't distracting us or making us feel like there's a problem at home and they're crying and they're all upset and they're getting sick or accidents at home while we're on the road, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If they didn't do that and they were at home kind of holding down the fort, then that was their way of contributing to us so that we could do what we could do. And in them being able to allow us to be gone was their way of being able to help people also. So they've understood at a very young age that whether they're staying at home or on the road with us now, they're participating.
That's fantastic. And Elena, what is really your dream right now? Because we always change our dreams,
Yeah.
because we're moving our dreams. So what is your dream now?
I have 3 dreams, okay? So my personal, there's Grant right now on my deck.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, so my personal dream, I have 2. This is my passion, my purpose. My feet hit the floor every morning at 6 a.m., whether I want to get up or not, because of 2 reasons, 3, but my personal ones. Number 1, I want to restore the family value in
I
this
love it.
society. So I will never claim it's not easy or that I have a fairy tale life, but I also want to show that with the right partner and a coordinated effort, that you can reach heightened levels of success together. There are rewards to a stable home and foundation. I want to make relationships cool again. You know, I feel like society makes it like, promotes the single life, and hey, I loved my single life too. I'm not dissing my single people, but they promote the single life and how hard marriage is and the ball and chain and divorce. And it's just, I don't think there's enough people out there saying, you know what, it is hard, but so is going for a gold medal. So anything in life is hard. It's hard to be in a relationship. It's hard not to be in a relationship. It's hard to have wealth. It's hard to not have wealth. It's
Exactly.
hard no matter what. So that's one purpose. My second purpose is I want to restore the value of women in society. And it's not a value that I think men put on women or they think women are more degraded now or whatever. It's not that I think men are doing it. I also think a big responsibility in it is that women are invalidating themselves. And so I have a very deep-rooted passion to help women really dig in and find their true potential and who they are and what their power is and what they can contribute not only to themselves, but to their family and then outward to the community and to the world if they want. And so those are my personal goals. Now in the relationship, and Grant supports me in those goals. I mean, why wouldn't he? He's in a relationship with me. So there's one. And the second one is he was raised by a single mother. You know, our COO, our chief operating officer, is a woman. He's surrounded by powerful women. So we go hand in hand together. Our couple's goals is, you know, Grant has all this data, finance, marketing, sales, follow-up, wealth, real estate, all these programs that he's put together that can help people and actually make them financially literate and make them financially free with his information. So the third thing is I support everything that he is doing with the behind the scenes operations in order to achieve that goal where people can win and have success using his products or services. So those are the three things that are my passion. I would die for the cause.
You are absolutely busy, absolutely busy.
Very busy.
100%, 24
Yes.
hours.
Yes.
You have a life busy with all these three, only with all these three.
It is very, yes, it is. It's very busy.
And I share with you, of course, I didn't have the opportunity to work with you in the passion of Gran Cardone and you, what you do, but I'm happy to do it together. If you think that I am good for you, I'm happy to do it. But I share absolutely the first two, because I am a mother and I am a woman, and I think that the value of is time that is we restore the reality that values are good, because there has been a devaluation of values. Values seems to look that it was a bad thing to have values. You understand? So I think that we need to restore that, and in couples, in families, in friendship, in everything. And that's, I think that the quarantine have put us think a lot about everything. And at the end, you have been with your husband and with your children. And that was your life for so many days, Elena.
Yes, and I will tell you, it was not easy in the beginning. You know, it was just, I'm used
but
to
maybe now you're happy and you say, can this keep a little more because I'm getting comfortable with this?
No, we're back in our offices. I needed to go back to the office.
Really?
I was having, I was definitely on an emotional roller coaster. It was not easy for me. I went through some pretty, you know, difficult times during this quarantine. But I feel like I'm on the other end of it. And part of the reason is because what I do every time I've received a blow in my life is I get reconnected to my purpose, and I do even more and take even more massive levels of action. And so that's been my saving grace every single time. And I have just self-enhanced, you know, I'm listening to Grant's programs right now. I'm on Cardone University. I listen to his 10X rule book on audio. I listen to my own Build an Empire online course. So I've been doing a lot of training right now, and getting refocused on starting up my own entity with the 10X Ladies division and my Empire division within the organization. So I've loved being able to go back to the office.
I'm sure, but I'm sure that you got also the pleasure of being for maybe one time in a lifetime, maybe never this is gonna occur again, this is gonna happen again, that you had the opportunity to be with your husband and with your children, with no other pressures, only that to be in your home.
That's a lie. No other pressures? Are you kidding me? No, there was a lot of pressures. We just happened to be in closed containers together, or closed corners, but no, the pressures never went away. I mean, you know, the quarantine happened, and as business owners, we had to eliminate an entire division at our office, which was an extremely difficult decision to have to make. And it's one that really only business owners understand, because we, you know, when you're of the level and have the exposure that we do, a lot of people like to criticize, and we have to, I'm a person, one of my weaknesses, and I do know my strengths and weaknesses. One of my weaknesses is that I like to be liked. So, you know, so can you shut the door? Thank you. So it's painful for me, to have to retreat economize, cut people out of the equation. I don't want to hurt anybody's life. I also know what I have to do to protect the organization and the long-term viability of where we're going. I have to risk not being liked by all the criticism that we receive for everything, because someone's going to interpret something I do in one way. I tried to help a lady sell, a lady got knocked, she lost her job too. And so she starts making masks. And I buy the mask from her for like, I don't know, $9.50, and I sell it for $10 on my store. I'm keeping my shipping department employed. Basically, I'm paying the shipping. And I buy her first bulk order, 500, whatever it was. I sell it to my people, and I get criticized because somebody thinks I'm making money off of a $10 mask. It's just, you know, and that's just one of many.
I imagine.
Upon many.
But you know, but Elena, you know that is that the most exposure that you have, you get criticized. You know, Madonna, Jennifer Lopez, everybody's criticized. I said, but there is Elena something that says, if there, you know, there is says that if I will be scared if no one talks about me. I will say, well, I'm not, I do not exist.
It's true. And Grant says in Cardone University, Closing the Sale, Success, he says the first sign of the right amount of action is criticism. When you start receiving criticism, you're doing the right level of action. And the only level of action, if you want to survive at any time, is massive levels of action. So I look at it like that.
Yes.
And I have things in perspective, but it's definitely not easy.
It's not easy, because you are human and you are sensitive.
Well, I'm sensitive, and I know that, and I know how to work with my weaknesses. But it's especially upsetting because we want thousands of employees. I mean, this is our vision. So to have to kind of retreat in order to rebuild the coffers and rebuild the strength and come up with a strategy to where we can then go out and be stronger and rehire back, which is the phase we're in now. We're rehiring back. But you know, that's also a sucker punch to my dreams and my goals. It's like a moment. I know it's a temporary setback. It doesn't feel good. So no, even though I had my family and that was a good opportunity, I've gotten closer with my children. I've put more time in. I've actually gotten closer with my husband, even though even that was difficult in the beginning, because we're two very ferocious people and we like a lot of action and a lot of motion is going on, and to be confined into a space when you have two very hyper people that not physically but spiritually take up a lot of room, it can feel really small, even though we live in a very beautiful, nice, spacious home, if you can understand what I mean by that.
I understand. People that you're used to, your home was the world.
Yeah.
And you have to do the work, your house. So at the beginning was all an adjustment, but you are smart. And I will tell you something. There's something that I say. Talk right or wrong about me, but please write very well my name. Criticize me, right or wrong, but write well my name. So yeah, don't worry, Elena. You are gonna continue. This is only a moment of adjustment. Right. But now the best of your life, the best part of your life really is gonna come, I'm sure.
Well, I know that to be fact, and it's because I'm creating it right now. I'm not a victim to anything, never will be. And I know who I became out of the last economic collapse in 2008. I know what my husband and I did from that. And so when this happened, I told him, I said, we are going to make everything that we've done thus far look like child's play. So I am more determined now, more than ever, to reach even higher levels of abundance in love and courage and grit, in integrity and fortitude, in success, in finances, in everything. So
you said it, and it's done.
1,000,000%. And I can trust myself.
I know, you know that when you say it so convincingly, it's done.
That's right.
So the universe already had listened. Sorry, my English is not so perfect.
Your English is perfect. I love it. My other Argentinian friends have such a thick accent, I cannot understand them half of the time. You, no problem.
Well, really, let's answer a question. What do you think, Elena? Let's answer some questions.
Somebody had a question here. They said, are you still in love? Yes, I am still in love. I've been married for 15 years. I love my husband very much. I am in love with him. But here's the thing. I don't know about anybody else's relationship, but mine, we've been together 15 years. We both have very strong personalities. There are days, fortunately, not many, because we are so aligned with our purpose. But there are days, even in all of that, where we do not like each other. There are days when, we have arguments and I don't like him. I'm just being honest. But then we come, however, even during the times when I don't like him or he doesn't like me, we can be trusted to do our job and fulfill our role in the relationship. We have trust. I say, find the one you trust and build an empire, because I'm not gonna make a mistake when I'm mad at him. I have integrity. So, and then a day later, because I don't like it to go much longer than that, when we recommit to our purpose and we really can come to the table with objectively, like trying to work with the goal of getting over this so that we can hit our mission together, then, when we hit our goals and our targets together, that's when we get to have the little blissful, I'm so in love again. But it's not like I married him and 16 years later, I'm like, oh, honeymoon. Like the honeymoon thing has to be created. It doesn't
Absolutely
just exist.
It's a whole job. It's a whole work.
It's a job. It's an ongoing job. If I don't pay my relationship attention, it's gonna get dilapidated. Just like if you live in a house and you don't paint it every 10, 15 years, the paint is gonna chip.
Absolutely. Have you ever thought about writing, I don't know if you did it, a book about how to assemble well a relationship? Because I think that you have great tips, Elena.
Thank you. I wrote a book. It's called Build an Empire, How to Have It All. That's really for anyone, but it's also for people who want to know how to get on the same page and do this thing together. I also have another book. It's called EmpireMensBook.com. It's a pre-order right now, but I wrote a book for men from a powerful woman's point of view who's been married to an entrepreneur in a high-powered environment for 16 years, and how we've reached heightened levels of success together. So how to find the woman, how to keep the woman, how to get on the same page, how to stay on the same page, what is it that she wants, how to include her. And I've written this all down in a new book that's almost complete. I have 18 chapters already completed. I'm excited about it because I wrote this book for the intention to help all the honorable men out there that really want to be in a relationship that can help them reach their heightened level of success.
What do you think about people that says, well, now the millennials, those millennials that said, no, we don't want commitment. It was no attachment at all, of nothing. And also the value of their body also, no? Because not only is the mind that you share, but you share your body when you get engaged in a relationship. What would you say about that? What would you tell to the youngest people about how they get engaged and how they give their body or they give everything that they have? What is the value that they should think about before sharing the energy? No, because it's not the body, it's your energy that you share.
Well, I don't know what you mean. Are you talking about promiscuity, or are you talking about people not wanting to be in relationships?
No, I'm thinking about more promiscuity, I will say, because I'm talking that they don't think that when you are with another person, you are sharing your energy, and you have to. You want. It's like having. I want to have a partner. I want to have the best in everything. You know, the best doctor, the best food, and I want to have the best energy if I can. No, why not? So I think that also there is a, as you say, no value of your own energy, you know. And youngest people, I think that you are younger than me, but
I don't know about that.
but I'm saying that, you know, I have a son of 23 and a son of 19. And, you know, we as parents, we care about with whom they share their energy, I will say. So what would you say to youngest generation about that, Elena?
Well, you know, there's promiscuity, as cool as it sounds. And, you know, where I was as a young girl that was completely lost and on a bad path myself. So, you know, I never thought anything was wrong with it, except now in hindsight, how damaging it is to not have something, to waste what you talk about, your energy on people that aren't worthy, that you don't feel good afterwards, that if there's cheating involved, the degradation of that, the breaking up of families, there's different levels of it too, of promiscuity. And, you know, and then the people that will just have multiple partners end up really in the long run, if they're really honest with themselves, actually end up even being more lonely. And then there's a lot of attachments to, like, then someone ends up liking or falling in love with one person, and then they knew they shouldn't have let them on, but they did. So there's a lot, and then they feel bad because they're a good person and they're not really trying to harm someone. So there isn't like this no strings attached, free love society, and it's okay. Like, that's a lie. That's a lie. There's going to be people involved that are hurt, and there are lives that get affected by it, you know. And then the other thing is, you know, if you have the mindset that you don't need anybody, so you can just detach, you can just have sex, but then just be detached because you don't need anybody, and you've got this wall and you can do it all yourself, that's a lie too, because that's been pitched into society like, oh, let's go be this solopreneur, or you can do it all on your own and you don't need anybody. But it's a lie, because no one has ever built an empire alone. And it doesn't mean that you have to have, like, be in a relationship to have an empire, but you do need to have partners and other people that expand in the empire outward. And so if you adopt that mindset, I don't need anyone, I'm independent, then you're also doing it in those other areas of your life, and you're cutting your nose off to spite your face, because you do need to depend on people. I depend on my husband. I depend on my accountant. I depend on my nanny to be there when I can't be there. I depend on people, you know, and when you can depend on the person that you share the most private, the most valuable, like, asset, special thing in the world with that one person, you really have an opportunity to go to heightened levels of success together. And if that's not used in that area for that way, it ends up, no matter what you tell yourself, it ends up working against you.
Absolutely. And Elena, if you see your words, we are now starting again with what you started the conversation. And what is trust? What it means? What type of trust there is when there is no commitment and you don't know what is doing the other person, or they tell you one thing and they do another. So anybody, anything that you need trust in order to build something good. If you want to build something bad, no problem. Choose that. But if you want something good, choose trust for any good relationship, any good endeavor that we engage in our life. We need good and trust. So I'm so happy to have met you, Elena. Really, I'm so happy, and that I see that we have so many things in common. Also, I'm very blessed.
I want to come to your country so badly. I have so many friends here in Miami that are Argentinian. You know, I started drinking the mate.
El mate. See, I saw you with the mate.
I love it. I have my own setup now with the mate.
I love it.
I make my trainer drink the first 5 sips, though. I don't like the little, you know.
That is not so sweet.
But after that, I'm like, oh yeah, back off, it's mine.
Yes, and I'm really very happy, Elena, and I'm gonna be, as soon as the airplanes go to Miami, I will go there and I will meet you personally, and I'm sure that we can bring all your power and your beautiful energy to Latin America, and if I can be part of your team, I will. That will be one of my dreams. This is one of my dreams.
I love that. Okay, well, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to talk to Rock about it. And, you know, just so you know, I'm on Duolingo trying to learn Spanish so that I can eventually be able to communicate.
Fantastic. I can teach you, no problem. You teach me English and I teach you Spanish.
Okay.
Elena,
Deal.
Again, thank you so much, and I know that we will together and helping women. That's one of my also my goals, to show and that there is another way to live life. That you need integrity, and that doing the things in the right way is the best way. It's always the best way. Maybe it looks tougher, but at the end is the secure way and the only way for me.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
Elena, all the best and all the best wishes for you. And we are together very, very soon, Elena.
That is a deal. Thank you.
Gracias, Elena. All the best. Thank you.
De nada.
Gracias, Elena. Bueno, qué divina. Ay, Elena, no lo puedo creer. Elena Cardone, una genia. She's a genius. I love her, and really a woman of a lot of knowledge, and making an employer not only as a businesswoman, but as a mother, as a wife, and as a woman, 100%. So let's continue giving all this message to the world. Women on power, but in all the ways. Take the best of women to for the world, of course. Well, thank you again. Good night. Buenas noches para todos. Es una genia, es una reina. Bueno, todo lo mejor. Buenas noches, Elena. Todo lo mejor. Good night.